To that channel. Tony also knows boxing. I'm giving you the raw, unadulterated facts and latest news of what's going on in boxing. I have some interesting interviews coming up as well. I want to introduce you to this new information from Fresh Production Boxing. They have 4 possible events that the fight with Subriel Matias will take place. It's definitely not taking place in Puerto Rico anymore. They decided, Urango actually specifically said that they decided to do something different in a different event in a bigger city, bigger arena, because they wanted to try something different. And economically, it was economical reasons why they decided to move the event from Puerto Rico to New York or New Jersey. Most likely New York, but there's 4 possible events that the fight is they're considering to use. 4 possible arenas. The Prudential Arena, which is in Newark, New Jersey, which holds 16,755 people. And they're also thinking about the Paramount in Huntington, New York, which I think they shouldn't put the fight there because there's only 1,573 people that fit in that arena. And I think for an event like Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith, it's going to be a splash, and it's going to be very impactful and very big because Subriel Matias' fan base has grown significantly, and I don't think they should put it in the Paramount in Huntington, New York. They have a boxing promoter, Star Boxing, who promote their events there. Nothing against them, but I don't think it's a big enough arena to put the Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith. I think they're going to put it in a much bigger arena. So at all the 4 events, they have possible events where the fight is, they're negotiating where the fight will take place. They're discussing the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, where Shakur Stevenson has fought various times. And they're thinking about the Barclays Center, which holds 19,000 people, which is a huge arena in Brooklyn. Yep, my hometown, Brooklyn. And they're also thinking about what's the other arena that they have? Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden is the biggest arena as far as capacity. They hold like 19,500. So those are all possible arenas that they've been discussing. And Urango has said that they wanted to try and prove themselves in a big city, a big city other than New York. He says that Matias is a good arena, Urango said, and also places like Roberto Clemente Coliseum in Puerto Rico. He said they're all good events, and the mayor of San Juan, Miguel Roman, was willing to work and was available to accommodate him in any of the arenas that I just mentioned, Manatí, and I don't know about Choliseo, but they actually mentioned Roberto Clemente, and they were really willing to work with Urango, a Fresh Production, but Urango decided for economical reasons to move the event to somewhere bigger where they can make more economical sense for the fight. So those are the possible arenas where the fight with Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith can take place. And it's Madison Square Garden, Barclays Center, the Prudential Center, and the Paramount, which I think the Paramount should not be even considered because I feel like 1,570 or 1,550 capacity in the Paramount in Huntington, New York. I don't think that this event is going to be able to fit in that arena. That's my assessment. I think Subriel Matias' fan base has grown significantly, and I believe that the other arenas are more suited for this event. The Madison Square Garden, which holds 19,500 people capacity, and the Prudential Center holds 16,755 in Newark, New Jersey, and the Barclays Center holds 19,000. So I just want to know what you guys think. Where do you think the fight's going to take place? I hope it takes place in either Barclays or Madison Square Garden, because those are the biggest capacity that holds the most people. But the Prudential is not bad in Newark, New Jersey, 16,755. But what do you guys think about them moving to the East Coast? What do you think about that? It's good. There's a lot of Puerto Rican fan base that supports Subriel Matias. Good. Get Knob. Hello. What's going on, my brother? What's going on? Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. Bhavan Kumar. Number 2, hello, how you doing, my brother? Thanks for tuning in to Tony Also Knows Boxing. Subscribe to the channel. It's growing. My channel's growing, and I'm getting a lot of subscribers and people really following my content. And I have great interviews coming too, as well. As far as tomorrow, not to get into too much of that right now, but I feel that as far as the initial process of making this fight in Puerto Rico, which Durango was trying to do for Subriel Matias to have another opportunity to right the wrong that happened with the Amparo. Unfortunately and fortunately, they're changing in transition for economical reasons, because I believe that, based on what he was saying and alluding to, Durango, a fresh production, he was alluding to the fact that there's more economical opportunity for Subriel Matias to flex his fan base visibility that he's accomplished throughout all these years with all the content creators supporting him, like El Filósofo del Boxeo, Tony Also Knows Boxing, Art of Boxing for You, Auténtico Boxing, Boxeo Urbano. A lot of people, supporting Subriel Matias actually contributed to the fan base growing, but also the demand. And with his last fight with Puello, but a lot of people started following him, like after the Ergashev fight, with the Ukrainian. I think he's Ukrainian, but a lot of people that really follow Subriel Matias since the beginning, even before the Dadashev tragedy, we actually are real hardcore fans and know how good Subriel Matias is. And the people that started following him after Ergashev, they grown to love him, and hopefully they could get to know more of how good he really is, because people are split on how good he is, and there's people that are not split that actually found out just how good he is late. Even though they found out late, it's better to be a late bloomer that has the information and you totally understand how good Subriel Matias is, because then you could do the research of his earlier fights once you became a fan, whether it was after the Ergashev fight or the Dadashev fight, or before that when he just had 15 fights, when he fought Malik Hawkins. We don't know he has all kind of fans. Subriel Matias has all kinds of fans, and his fan base has grown in not only in the Latin community, in the Puerto Rican community, but the African American community and the Anglo community. A lot of people are starting to know who he is, and this is the reason why that Durango, a fresh production boxing, wanted to flex his Subriel Matias's fan base and see how improve himself in a bigger arena than Manatí and and the other the Roberto Clemente Coliseo, which are great venues that he said, but he wants to prove himself with Subriel Matias in a bigger arena in a big city, just to show everybody just how good and Subriel Matias is, and just how much his fan base has grown. God loves you, Christ is King. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for sending me those blessings. Tougher 98.99. God loves you, Christ is King. I appreciate you. Subscribe to my channel. Tony Also Knows Boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Subscribe to the channel. So, Fresh Production Boxing, Durango, were able to outbid a bigger, more established company like Matchroom and Turkey Al-Sheikh. So, I feel like they're really showing their capability in boxing, and just how much of a powerhouse the Puerto Rican boxing promotion really is right now, to outbid an established company like Matchroom Boxing of Eddie Hearns and Turkey Al-Sheikh. But they're still going to be involved in this event, Turkey Al-Sheikh and Matchroom, but they're not going to dictate the terms for which fighter gets the most money. The ones that are going to dictate the terms of which fighter gets the most money is Durango, a fresh production boxing of Puerto Rico. He is the one that promotes Subriel Matias and has been friends with Subriel Matias before he even signed Subriel Matias, and actually helped Subriel Matias in his toughest, darkest days when he was going through a lot of stuff in the streets and when he was arrested. And now Subriel Matias has learned so much from his experiences, and he's a walking testimony for a lot of people that been through hell and back and became successful in spite of the obstacles that they had to deal with in their life. So Fresh Production Boxing Durango has a relationship with Subriel Matias before he even signed Subriel Matias. He actually used to live with Subriel Matias used to live with Durango at one point in his career before he became as big as he is now. So shout out to Durango of Fresh Production Boxing in Puerto Rico doing their thing, and they're basically showing their leverage they still have control over the event, and the event is going to take place either in the Paramount, I doubt it, because it's too small, in Huntington, Barclays Center, Madison Square Garden, or Prudential. Those are the possible places where the fight can take place. So we don't know for sure if it's going to take place in New York, like a lot of people are saying, but it's a very strong possibility that it will. And if it lands in New York, it would be perfect if it lands in Madison Square Garden, because Madison Square Garden holds the most capacity of people, 19,500. Barclays Center holds 19,000, and Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey holds 16,755. So they're big, but we want Super Matias to land in the biggest possible capacity event arena, like Madison Square Garden or Barclays. But either way, if it lands in one of those three, Prudential, Barclays Center, and Madison Square Garden, it's good enough because there's a solid amount of people in capacity in those arenas. But the worst one would be the Paramount. It holds 1,550 around there, and it's in Huntington, New York. I think that one will be the least amount of people, but the other ones are great news, because I feel like Super Matias' fan base has grown so much that he's going to land in one of those big ones, one of those huge ones. Barclays Center, Madison Square Garden, or the Prudential Center. So we don't know exactly where, but this shows the fact that Fresh Production Boxing of Puerto Rico that took over the outbidding $1.9 million against a bigger, more established company like Matchroom, Eddie Hearns, and Turkey Al Sheikh. It shows that Puerto Rico has a lot of leverage, and we're a powerhouse in boxing, and they took a chance, they took a risk. If they would have, if Super Matias would have fought under the terms of Turkey Al Sheikh and Matchroom, he would have not got paid as much as he's getting paid now. And so, as well as Fresh Production Boxing Urango, they would have got a smaller amount of money. But since they're taking a risk and taking a chance, and they're controlling the event and the narrative and where the event takes place, they have more say and more flexibility and determine how much Super Matias is going to get paid and how much Fresh Production Urango is going to get paid, because they control the event. So they're going to do a collaboration. Turkey Al Sheikh and Matchroom, Eddie Hearns, they're going to do a collaboration with Urango, a Fresh Production Boxing in Puerto Rico. So they're not the bosses in this event. The bosses are Urango, a Fresh Production Boxing in Puerto Rico, and Super Matias. And they're going to have a decent undercard. Nestor Bravo, future prospect of Puerto Rico, is going to be in the undercard. I'm going to have Emmanuel Rodriguez, a former champion, I think a former two-time champion. He actually sparred with Yanquier Rivera, which Yanquier Rivera told me in the interview. Bang Bang Boogie, what's going on, my brother? Yeah, Bang Bang Boogie said hi. Bang Bang Boogie, smash the likes. Yeah, I appreciate your support, brother. He's one of my regulars. Bang Bang Boogie is one of my regulars. Enough respect to you, Bang Bang Boogie. Boricua para siempre, mi hermanito. Subscribe to that channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. I keep it raw. I keep it real. You know how it is. I don't hold back on the truth, and a lot of people are afraid to speak their mind. A lot of content creators out there just being corny, trying to do clickbait so people can subscribe to them. But no, this is not clickbait. This is real bait. Real bait. You want real? You're gonna click on the real, because there's no propaganda over here on my channel. My channel is the realest, and I give people an opportunity. Like if somebody needs an opportunity, I help them out. Like if you don't have a lot of followers, like I'll do collaboration with you and help you get your fan base growing too, because we are here to help each other. We're here to help each other as content creators, as a Boricuas. We got to stick together. But some people are cutthroat out there, you know. There's a lot of content creators out there that I inspired. There's one out there, but I'm not going to say his name. But he don't want to give me the credit and the due diligence of respect that I deserve by giving me the credit, you know, that I inspired him to do his channel. But I'm not going to mention no names, because at the end of the day, we're trying to create a community of boxing content that gives light to boxers that don't normally get the light. Like, you know, and I feel like there's a lot of great prospects coming out of Puerto Rico. Abisa El Coto, you know, I just had him in my show not too long ago, like a week ago, and he's doing great things. He's going to fight November 22nd on the undercard of Juanma Lopez versus Gallo, the producer, which, you know, it's going to be a good fight. He's going to have great fights in the undercard. Manuel Febus, who is 1-0 with 1 KO. I want to actually interview him as well. But I'm going to interview somebody tomorrow that you guys all will be familiar with. His name is Joey Borrero. Joey Borrero is Felix Tito Trinidad's cousin, and he gave me the opportunity to interview him. He's 13-1 with 10 KOs, and I'm gonna interview him tomorrow. Joey Borrero, he is Felix Tito Trinidad's cousin. This is big. So this guy is making a huge making huge strides in the boxing community and in the boxing world. People are getting familiar with who he is. Joey Borrero. He is Felix Tito Trinidad's cousin. He's a great talent, a great human being, very humble, and I have a great feeling about this interview tomorrow at 5 o'clock. I'm going to do the interview with Joey Borrero, Felix Tito Trinidad's cousin. Yep, Felix Tito Trinidad's cousin. Right now he's training in Chicago, and he's supposed to fight soon. I don't know when he's going to fight, but I'm going to ask him tomorrow in the interview when is his next fight, because I'm excited about him. He's a very powerful puncher. He's tall. He's 6'1". I don't want to give you too much, but he's Felix Tito Trinidad's cousin, Joey Borrero. Stay tuned for that one tomorrow. Así mismo, bro, pico para el que lee. Sí, mi hermanito. Gracias por estar en sintonía, Matt Comac. Black Esponja. Hello, friendo puertorriqueño. Hi, from Chile. Saludo a mi gente chilena. Saludos, mi hermanito, mi gente chilena, Black Esponja. Gracias por estar en sintonía a mi canal. Suscríbete a mi canal, Tony Also Knows Boxing. Suscríbete a mi canal. Gracias, Matt Comac. Así mismo, bro, pico para el que lee. Sí, mi hermanito, suscríbete a mi canal. Gracias por el apoyo. Los quiero mucho y estoy dando de contenido a toda mi gente latina, boricua y la gente que habla en inglés. Los afroamericanos, los anglos, a todos que les gusta el boxeo. Aquí estamos compartiendo como familia. Yeah. Thanks, Bang Bang Boogie #1. He clicked the thumbs up. I appreciate you, my brother. He's one of my regulars. Bang Bang Boogie es uno de los regulares míos que siempre está en sintonía a mi canal y lo apoyo. El apoyo de él es bien fuerte y lo agradezco bastante a Bang Bang Boogie. Bang Bang Boogie, much respect to you, my brother. Thanks for tuning into my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Tony Also Knows Boxing. Yes, I got a treat for everybody tomorrow. I'm going to interview Joey Borrero, 13-1 with 10 KOs. I don't know what weight class he's going to... I know he was at the 135-pound division, but I think he's moving up to a higher weight class. And I don't know what weight class he's going to stay in because he's a tall fighter, 6 feet, 0.1 inches. So he's a very tall fighter. So he's very talented and very humble. I love his attitude, and we've been dialoguing for a couple of days, and he's going to give me the interview. And I have other big things in store too, but I don't want to give too much information. Huge things. God is good. He's been blessing my channel. He's been blessing me with great connections, and I'm connected with great people because God has been favoring me, and I appreciate that. And my channel's going to grow, and the ones that don't believe, they're going to believe when it's too late. When the evidence is there, it's going to be too late. You know, you can't change. Once you see me succeeding, you can't change your energy all of a sudden because you see me succeeding. You got to believe in me when you least see the success. But my success is actually becoming more evident. But, you know, there's people that only show up whenever you are successful, when they see the more evidence of the success, because they want to be part of it, but they're not genuine. They're doing it because they want to get some clout off of you. But at the same time, you know, I always try to help everybody that, you know, because, you know, at the end of the day, we're here to encourage each other. And if we're doing the boxing content, we're trying to do it right, we got to help each other. And the best way we can, if we're doing it authentically, you know, for the people, for the fans who want the real boxing content, not that fake stuff that's out there just for clickbait. Nah. I just keep it raw and say whatever's on my mind, and I speak passionately about what I love, boxing. But there's a love and hate with this sport. But at the end of the day, I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I try to give them the best quality. And it's something that comes natural. It comes natural. I don't have to really try. I just do it because I love it, so it's always going to be effective because I do it with my heart and my passion and with my knowledge. You know, Tony Also Knows Boxing. Subscribe to that channel. Tony Also Knows Boxing. You're tuning into my channel. All right, so that's the latest with Super Matias, January 10th, 2026. And that's going to be an amazing fight. Nestor Bravo's going to be in the undercard. Emmanuel Rodriguez and a few others. But that's what I have as far as Super Matias. That's the latest. If you want to hear what I was saying earlier in the video about where the possible locations and arenas that they're going to be fighting in, just watch from the very beginning of the video when you get a chance, when I finish this video. But yeah, it could be Madison Square Garden, Prudential Center, Barclays Center, and it could also be in the Paramount. But I doubt it's going to be in the Paramount because the Paramount it holds like 1,550 people in Huntington, New York. I don't think that that's going to be a big enough arena to hold the fans and the capacity that want to follow Super Matias and Dalton Smith. But I really think that it's going to be between the Prudential in Newark, New Jersey, Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and Madison Square Garden. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think is best? Where do you think the fight is going to land? Do you think the fight's going to land in one of those three that I mentioned? Or how do you guys feel about Super Matias fan base? Do you feel like it's grown more than Xander Zayas? I'm not trying to put them against each other because I love Xander Zayas. But Xander Zayas is trying to fight on the same date, January 10th, 2026, as the Super Matias fight. So, and he's supposed to make a defense of his title in January because it worked out better for him economically doing it on that date because more people will be promoting boxing in Puerto Rico because in December they're not going to really put a lot of emphasis on promoting boxing events because they do a lot of parrandas in Puerto Rico, a lot of Christmas gatherings, and Puerto Rico celebrates that really big, so it would take away from the promotion of Xander Zayas. So Xander Zayas is going to fight Abbas Borrero, the African guy that lives in Germany that beat the Cuban guy, Tellers, who upset the undefeated Cuban guy. So yeah, they're trying to fight on the same date as Super Matias. There's those fights. Even Teofimo Lopez fighting versus Shakur Stevenson on January 10th, 2026. He wants to fight Shakur Stevenson on that date, on the same date that Super Matias is fighting Dalton Smith. The same date, January 10th, 2026. And so does Xander Zayas. Xander Zayas wants to fight on the same date as well. So somebody was saying, one of the boxing content creators was saying that it's possible that the Teofimo Lopez Shakur Stevenson fight could fall in the same card as Super Matias Dalton Smith. That's what they were saying. Bang Bang Boogie, number one. Super Matias fans need to come out and support or buy the pay-per-view. Word up. Facts, man. And I feel like it's going to do great. And do you think that since all these fighters, Xander Zayas, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, they're going to fight on the same date as January 10th, 2026, that Super Matias versus Dalton Smith is going to take place. Do you feel like they're going to put one of those fights on the same card? And if you think they're going to do that, which fight you think is going to be in the same card of Dalton Smith versus Super Matias? Do you think Xander Zayas is going to wind up on the card? Or do you think they're going to put Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson on the card? That's really interesting because they all want the same date. They all want to fight on the same date. But I don't know. I feel like it's better for the fans that they put the fights all on the same card. But in a perfect world that would make sense. But in boxing, we have different promoters that compete with each other, so they're not going to put, I don't think they're going to put all the fights on the same card. Xander Zayas definitely is going to be on a different channel because he recently signed with Rima Sports, which is co-owned by Bad Bunny. Shout out to Bad Bunny, doing good things for Puerto Rico. Rima Sports is a company that not only focuses on boxing, but also focuses on like just a global reach for anyone, like whether it has to do with boxing or baseball. Just gives the person more of a global reach and more influential as an athlete. It would really help Xander Zayas, and he made a good move by signing with Rima Sports. So I don't think that Rima Sports is going to work with Turkey Al Sheikh, Fresh Productions of boxing promotions of Puerto Rico, or Matchroom. I don't think that they're going to work in cahoots. So I just feel like that they're going to do their own thing. Turkey Al Sheikh wanted to own the rights to the Super Matias versus Dalton Smith, but they didn't win the purse bid. So At the end of the day, whether it takes place in Puerto Rico, Dalton Smith versus Subriel Matias, or it takes place in New York, the one that has the control over the event and everything is Urango of Fresh Production Boxing of Puerto Rico. So they gave him a knockout blow. Fresh Production Boxing of Puerto Rico, Urango, gave the bigger, more established company, supposedly, Matchroom, a knockout blow, and Turkey Al Sheikh. So we show our power, we show our leverage. The Puerto Rican promotion is showing that they are forced to be reckoned with in boxing. But Universal Promotion is also one of the best, I think, one of the best boxing promoters right now, promoting the talent that's coming out of Puerto Rico, the prospects. And they're using the Juanma Lopez versus Gallo the Producer event to actually promote the undercard, to give more visibility to the boxing prospects of Puerto Rico, which includes Abisael Cotto, Manuel Febus. Those are all undefeated fighters. And I think Manuel Febus is, he's actually in the welterweight division, 147. He's a beast too. And Abisael Cotto is in the 130-pound weight class, and he's a beast. He's one of my favorites. And Yanquiel Rivera is not with that promotion. He's with MVP. But Yanquiel Rivera is also a beast, and he doesn't have a fight date yet. I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, and actually a week ago. And he told me that he still doesn't have a fight date, but when he does have a fight date, I'm going to interview him as well, Yanquiel Rivera. He's going to come back on my show, so stay tuned to that. But tomorrow, I have the one and only, the cousin of Felix Tito Trinidad, Joey Borrero, the great future champion, prospect, very talented, 6 feet tall, 1 inch, 6.1 inches. Well, 6 feet tall and 1 inch tall. So he's 6.1 feet tall. So he's got a great record of 13-1 with 10 KOs. And I look forward to interviewing him tomorrow. And I'm going to ask him some great questions. And I'm going to interview him tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So stay tuned. I'm going to post that video. I'm going to post it and be on the lookout for that. Joey Borrero, Felix Tito Trinidad's cousin. I'm going to interview him tomorrow. That's going to be interesting. I appreciate everybody tuning into my channel. Bang Bang Boogie, got nothing but love for you. Thanks for commenting on my channel and giving me your perspective. Yeah, we all got to support Subriel Matias. That's what my brother Bang Bang Boogie said. Subriel Matias fans need to come out and support or buy the pay-per-view. Facts. Let's support our brother Subriel Matias, our champion of Puerto Rico, the WBC. He's a 2-time champion. He's gonna make some great statements. He said that he's gonna do a no mas dias on Dalton Smith, and Dalton Smith said that he doesn't care where the fight takes place, that his fans are gonna be there, but he says that he's coming to knock out Subriel Matias, that he sees weaknesses. I just feel like he's a little in over his head, and I think he's really cocky. And a lot of those English fighters, they're good, but they could be cocky, and I feel like he's sleeping on Subriel Matias. I think he's probably sleeping on him because he probably thinks that Subriel Matias can't beat a boxer. And he's not a boxer. Dalton Smith is not a boxer. He's 18-0 with 13 KOs. He shows some promise. He shows some ability, some power. But he hasn't fought anybody like Subriel Matias. And I believe that Borrero is better than Dalton Smith. Borrero's better than Dalton Smith. He proved that he can beat a boxer. Subriel Matias proved that he can beat a boxer. He's proven it with Malik Hawkins early in his career. And Ananian, he wasn't too bad as far as a boxer. He can box too, but nobody's gonna give Subriel Matias the credit for all the undefeated fighters that he's beaten, including Dadashev and Ergashev, all these other fighters that he's beaten undefeated. There was another guy, I think I forgot his name. I think he was Uzbekistan. He was from the country of Golovkin. He was undefeated as well. And Subriel Matias knocked out all these fighters. And I just believe that if he was with a bigger promoter at the time, they would have gave him the credit that they give other fighters for doing that when they were with a bigger promoter. But now that he has Fresh Production Boxing making statements by outbidding supposedly more established boxing promotions like Eddie Hearn's Matchroom, they actually have some say and flexibility and to give opportunities for Puerto Rico and Puerto Rican boxing prospects as a whole. And I believe that they're making a statement by taking a risk with Subriel Matias, because they know that Subriel Matias has a strong fan base, and they're taking a chance by going against Matchroom and Turkey Al-Sheikh and not being their employees, but employing them to participate in their event. Fresh Production Boxing is doing that. They're actually making Turkey Al-Sheikh and Matchroom participate and not be the ones that own the event, just participate in the event that Durango Fresh Production Boxing is controlling. And they have all the rights to the fight, and Subriel Matias gets more money than Dalton Smith, and he fights in home court advantage where there's more Puerto Ricans in the East Coast, but we don't know exactly where it's going to take place. It could take place at the Barclays Center, Prudential Center, Madison Square Garden, and I doubt it's going to take place at the Paramount, which I already mentioned why earlier in the video. Subscribe to the channel. Tony Also Knows Boxing. You're tuning into my channel. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to interview Joey Borrero, Felix Tito Trinidad's cousin. I'm going to interview him tomorrow. He's 13-1 with 10 KOs. Stay tuned. Peace. One love. Tony Also Knows Boxing. Don't be afraid to subscribe to my channel. If you want to know the truth, you're going to get it over here. There's no clickbait. Subscribe.